My name's Jim Koopman. I'm a director at Jack+Cottier. This project gestated over a number of years and had a number of collaborators, particularly Terragram, Tom Sitter, and Belinda Koopman. The project involved additions to the rear of an existing house, which is in the high Victorian style, probably constructed around 1880s, and it's thought likely in the heritage registers to have been designed by Ferdinand Royce. The interesting thing about this site is it actually contained a private zoo at one stage. You can see here the remnants of the walls, the courtyards, the paving as part of that scenario. The gardens are magnificent. They contain a lot of Victorian plantings of bunya pine, kentia, cypress trees, wisteria hedges. You can see here in the foreground is an old Melaleuca, probably planted 20-25 years ago. So again, even within the planting, there's these layers, eclectic layers and differences. But the most interesting thing about the space, or the thing that struck me most when we went there, was the scale of the existing building, the scale and grandeur of it all. Our brief was to provide an additional master bedroom on the upper level and an ensuite behind that, and to open up the existing dining room at the ground level to an outdoor space. And in addition to that, to bring light into the courtyard. You can see here that the north is to the top of the slide, so its orientation is to the northwest. This meant that the recessed courtyards were always going to be overshadowed at 12 o'clock midday in winter. The other thing that's interesting about the site is that the building is set back 14 metres from the main road, and that 14 metres contains trees of heritage significance, grand trees, 15, 20 metres high. So it's hidden from the road and can't be seen. All the work here occurred in the rear garden. The rear garden overlooks a lane with a high brick wall on it, but beyond that is a public park from which the upper levels of the house can be seen. We started with a building that looked like this, an existing lean-to veranda, really created dark spaces to the living areas at ground level. You can see here the veranda restricts your view of the sky when you're in the building, and it also introverts the sense of scale and grandeur that's in the bones of the structure. We had an 8-metre high wall of cypress on the western boundary. These, of course, were a fantastic natural privacy screen and barrier for the western sun. We demolished the existing veranda. We extended the master bedroom over the existing dining room. And we did this by creating a light steel structure with a suspended glass roof underneath it that would somehow encompass all the additions in one gesture. In terms of heritage issues, we made sure that we kept the steel frame underneath the existing eaves of the house, and we also made sure that the connections of those steel structures to the house were able to be easily removed so that there was a reversibility to retain the future heritage values of the house. The courtyard has a great 2-story high stainless steel mesh curtain. This curtain is able to operate to transform the qualities of the spaces. But in addition, it does 2 other things. It provides sun shading for the northwestern elevations, and it also provides privacy for the upper level bedroom from the park at the rear of the site. You can see here that the steel structure carries across the bedroom spaces so that it integrates the bedroom with the loggia. The windows open up at the corners to further ensure that the ambiguity is emphasised, as happens at the dining room level where the 3-metre high timber sliding doors fold back. The owner, Rebecca, was an integral part of the design team. Her own style and choice and eclectic searches for fittings and lights and all sorts of things added another layer which we really welcomed, and was like an excitement for us to see what she came up with. Belinda Koopman did a lot of the interior work. The translucent glass box for the ensuite is designed by her. Rebecca then has added her own layer again here, you can see, with the fittings that she's found in op shops and antique stores. The garden setting was provided by Tom Sitter from Terragram. He calls it the Garden of Ghosts. It's got all sorts of amazing features: a polished black concrete pool with a moat, a fish skeleton in a vitrine reflecting its heritage and private zoo ancestry, ladders that were found in the demolition are salvaged and reassembled to create artistic screens. Cast iron tendrils now support the old wisteria where once a rotten timber pergola stood. Beelzebub, the cast iron artisans, crafted monkey elements, again in reference to the private zoo. We feel that what we've created here is a performance space filled with life, a performance space for the carrying out of family life. Thank you.